in words, phrases, or clauses in a sentence. This is often used in lists or comparisons. Another important thing to watch out for with parallelism is conjunctions, such as and, but, or, and, etc. These are often keys to sentences where parallelism may be a thing to look out for. Parallelism is useful because it creates a reader-friendly, understandable sentence, and it also creates a sentence that sounds pleasant because it is grammatically correct. So with parallelism, you want to keep common word forms together. Nouns should stay with nouns, active voice should stay with active voice, infinitive phrases should stay with infinitive phrases, past tense should stay with past tense, and so on. And here are some basic examples. This first sentence is parallel. She likes to fish, hike, and stargaze in the mountains. This is parallel because fish, hike, and stargaze are all verbs in the infinitive form. The following sentence is not parallel. She likes to fish, hiking, and to stargaze in the mountains. This isn't parallel because one of the verbs, hiking, is in the ing or gerund form, while the other two are verbs in the infinitive form. Here's another not parallel sentence. He is skillful with portraits, landscapes, and making drawings. Portraits and landscapes are both flat-out nouns, while making drawings is a verb. This sentence can be fixed in a couple of ways. He is skillful with portraits, landscapes, and drawings uses all nouns. He is skillful with painting portraits, creating landscapes, and making drawings uses all verbs. The second thing to look out with parallelism is voices. When writing parallel sentences, always use the same voice. Do not mix active and passive voice together. For those who may be unaware, I've included a quick lesson in the difference between active and passive voice. Active voice is a sentence where the subject is doing an action to an object. In the sentence, he is watering the flowers, he is the subject, and the flowers are the object, and it is an active voice. Passive voice takes the action's target and makes it the subject of a sentence. The flowers are watered by him is a sentence in passive voice. The flowers have become the focus of the sentence instead of the person doing an action. So passive voice often comes across as vague and a little bit messy. This is a side note. In general, passive voice, along with the word being, create the hemlock of grammar. 99% of the time, these choices don't contribute much, especially in an essay. These are two things to be avoided in general. We are not Socrates. We do not need to drink the hemlock of grammar. Here is a non-parallel example using voices. The professor promised his wife that the students would turn in their assignments and that the papers will be graded by him in time for dinner. The problem with this sentence is that the first portion of it, students will turn in their assignments, is an active voice, while the second portion, the papers will be graded by him, is in passive voice, so it is non-parallel. Here is a fixed example that is parallel and in active voice. The professor promised his wife that the students will turn in their assignments and that he will grade them in time for dinner. This is parallel because both of the tenses underlined are in active voice. Parallelism is also useful in bulleted list. Here is a non-parallel list of my resolutions for 2014, which are to excel in academics, to learn Chopin's Nocturne No. 9, Opus 3, and successfully perform a coup d'état on the King of Mars. This list is not parallel because the first two are verbs in the infinitive form, while the third is an adverb describing a verb. Here is a fixed list of both. My resolutions for 2014 are to excel in academics, to learn Chopin's Nocturne No. 9, Opus 3, and to successfully perform a coup d'état on the King of Mars. Or you could write this as fantastically excel in academics, thoroughly learn Chopin's Nocturne, and successfully perform a coup d'état on the King of Mars. In this case, the first list uses all verbs in the infinitive form, while the second uses adverbs paired with verbs. Another thing with parallelism is to make sure to keep past and present tense together. Do not randomly switch tense in a sentence. Here is an example of a non-parallel, very messy sentence. She falls on the ground and decided that her arm was broken and will go home. This is a mess. It's horrible. The first portion, falls, is in present tense. Decided is in past tense, and will go is in future tense. This is extremely confusing and leaves the reader, well, they don't understand what's going on. It's awful. So there are many ways you can fix a sentence. She fell on the ground, decided her arm was broken, and went home. All three of the tenses used in here are in the past tense. She falls on the ground, decides her arm is broken, and then returns home. This sentence is all in the present. She will fall on the ground, break her arm, and go home. In this sentence, will fall, break, and go are all in the future tense, so all three of these sentences shown are parallel. Tenses can be a bit tricky. Sometimes, especially in writing that's meant to detail a story, tenses are mixed. The important thing is to check for whether or not the tense used falls in line with the story. Other times, tenses can just be misinterpreted. Examples include, she will fall on the ground, breaking her arm in the process, and return home. Oftentimes, a student may look at, say, the word breaking and say, oh, breaking's in present tense, while the other two verbs are in future tense, so this sentence is not parallel. However, since the sentence is detailing what happens to her when she will fall on the ground, it is actually parallel. Another example is this. Annalise needs to go to the doctor today because she broke her arm last week. Needs is in present tense, while broke is in past tense. However, this sentence is parallel because it's discussing a story. In this case, she broke her arm last week is giving a reason why Annalise needs to go to the doctor today. Another important thing to note with parallelism is to keep all of your sentences in the same point of view, or person. First person, which is I, we. Second person, you. And third person, he, she, it, they, should not be mixed. The thing to keep in mind with third person is that it is talking about someone or something, so there is a wide variety of words that can be used here. Here is an unparalleled sentence using many different points of view. They promised to bake a cake for her because you should do something nice for a person on their birthday. The problem with this sentence is that they is in the third person while you is in the second person, so this sentence is not parallel. Here is a fixed sentence. They promised to bake a cake for her because everyone should do something nice for a person on their birthday. This sentence is grammatically correct because both they and everyone is in third person. Here is a big thing to watch out for: conjunction pairs. These include either or, neither nor, not only but also, and whether or. These are inseparable. They are the dramatic lovers of grammar and should always be kept together when using parallelism in really any type of sentence. It's okay when they are used alone, but if you're going to use conjunction pairs together, make sure to keep them together, make them happy. Here is an example of an incorrect sentence. I am sorry to inform you that neither he or I can go to the party. This is incorrect because neither or is not a conjunction pair. You just made them sad. This is sad. This is a sad sentence. So we now fix it. The fixed version is here. I am sorry to inform you that neither he nor I can go to the party. This sentence is grammatically correct because neither nor is a conjunction pair. Conjunction pairs must also connect words, phrases, or clauses with similar grammatical identities. So if you're going to use conjunction pairs to compare something or to make a list, make sure that they are parallel. Here's an incorrect sentence. Whether running under the sun's glare or her poorly constructed hat contribute to that brutal sunburn is the primary question. This is incorrect because running is a verb, while poorly constructed hat is an adverb. Here is a correct sentence. Well, two, actually. Whether the sun's unflinching glare or her poorly constructed hat contributed to that brutal sunburn is the primary question. This is correct because sun's unflinching glare and poorly constructed hat are both nouns. The second correct sentence is, whether running under the sun's glare or wearing a poorly constructed hat contribute to that brutal sunburn is the primary question. This sentence is also parallel and correct because running under the sun's glare and wearing a poorly constructed hat are both verbs. Comparisons must also be parallel. When searching for comparisons, look for the following: but not, more than, as well as. Here is a not parallel sentence. They danced more delicately than with the proper technique. This isn't parallel because more delicately is an adverb, but the proper technique is a noun. Here is the parallel correction of this sentence. They danced more delicately than properly, in line with technique. Delicately and properly are both adverbs, so this sentence is parallel. So that is all I have for you today regarding parallelism. I hope it describes the concepts effectively. If you would like more practice, here is a link to a quick quiz. It's pretty short, but it can be helpful if you're looking for more practice or, say, studying for the SAT or ACT. This link leads to a video that's really meant for SAT and ACT practice, but is really helpful to any essay writer in general. And if you click on this and watch the video, as with YouTube, there are many other resources surrounding it to look for. Well, I hope this video was helpful and that it's suited parallelism, and this is the end.